Oh yes, I like the look of this, definitely. And they've got all those grains. Yes, yes, I think that's decided. Sorry, not this. The one on the other page, that's the one we're doing. Vanilla Bourbon Stout. Got everything. Don't have any Northern Brewer, we'll switch it out with something. And the yeast I'll need to switch out with something, but everything else is good to go. Good morning. It is a glorious morning. We are gonna mash in. I've decided to do outside because it's a bit of a shit tip in the garage. Spring cleaning, let's say. Stuff everywhere. That's how it's looking now. Nice little mix of grains. Just as I press record, the tractor starts over there, so great. Good timing as always. Well, this will not take too long. So yeah, some terrific weather at the moment. Dose of brain fade there. Dementia. You go down to do something and then you can't remember what you're doing. You're just stirring. It's called a hangover. It's not dementia at all. Said to myself about 20 minutes ago, why do I drink when it makes me feel so bad? Good question. That's a good question. Why is it? Anyway, never mind all that. So we're trying to hit a strike temp of 65. Sorry, we're trying to hit a mash temp of 65, so I reckon the strike temp is 71. We will see if that's the case. Obviously we're outside, it is quite warm though. And obviously it's warm because it's sunny and I'm wearing a t-shirt. Is it all going on? I also have a little jar of malt extract here, that is going in. But I'll put that in during the, when I pull the grain bags out. Not much of a sparge here either, it's only maybe 2 litres. So, probably just be a kettle over the top of the bag. That'll do alright. Don't see any dough balls at all. Don't really get dough balls, I'm telling you, ever since I started using that whisk, I just don't seem to get the dough balls anymore. Just keep going just in case, you never know. So I'm gonna actually mash for 90 minutes this time. Because it's an Imperial Stout. I want to try and get as much as we can. Plus the fact that there's not going to be any kind of sparge really, apart from the lot kettle over the top. So let us do it. Let's check on the temp. Have I got it? Have I got it? Have I got it? It's 66, so probably could have, done a bit more. But we'll give it a stir every now and again, about every 15 minutes or so. We'll give it a stir. Okay, till then, ciao. Okay, there's our boil. That looks 20 litres, is that in that? Anyway, that's the Helga going in. 60 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes. There's the Challenger going in. So long, Challenger. Sank to the bottom. Okay, that is the end of the brew day. There's a reading there, 1070 that looks at. To me, we're aiming for something around kind of mid to late 6s, let's say. I think in the book it's something like 8% or something like that, but it's difficult to get 8%. The efficiency goes down with the more grain I put into that system. It's just the way I do it, so I'm kind of aiming for less. So in and around, anything up to 7% basically, I'll be happy with. So yeah, in terms of the yeast, I've pitched the yeast and all. The yeast is actually the trub from that. Not all of it, just a few spoonfuls. It was USO5, that one, that's the smoke border coming off that. I don't have any, I don't tend to do that anymore, I used to do it all the time. But I now just use fresh yeast every time, but I don't have any USO5, and I kind of need this too. The only thing I have is like English type ale yeast, and it's only like 75% attenuation, so I'm afraid of it like crapping out 10-20 or something like that. So hopefully this will power past 10-20 and maybe down to 10-15, 16, something like that. So we shall see. Yeah, that's it. It says you need to put the vanilla pods in after 4 days. So yeah, we'd probably be doing that. I don't know if that's gonna be like high cruising or whatever. Seems a bit weird, but you dry hop it for a week. After that, so that'll be in the fridge for 2 weeks, and then the bourbon goes in at the end. It says just before bottling, but I mean I could put the pods and the bourbon together and then toss them all in, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll wing it. Let's say that. That's the scientific way to say it, right? Okay, I'm way by. I've said enough already. Couldn't remember the name vanilla. It's close to Vienna though, to be fair. Okay, so it's a week later. You can't see that, but that is 10-12. That beer finished out at 10-12, so that yeast cake really did its job and some more. It's a bit lower than I thought, so oh well. Right, this is the bourbon and vanilla. So we're not following the recipe exactly. So this is 300 litres of bourbon, and then I have done 8 pods of vanilla, scraped them and put them into the bourbon about three days ago. So now this is going to go into that. Oh, smell it! Wow, wow, that is a head of vanilla and bourbon, funnily enough. Okay, here we go. Let's get that off. Let's try and do this without splashing. Don't look through the viewfinder on the camera, please. Okay, there's a little bit there, but I'm going to rinse it on the top and then get it back in, but I can't do everything. There it is there. Look, 74 days later after a bottle. Vanilla Bourbon Stout, 7.6% this ended up as. Imagine that. 7.6. It's supposed to be a session impy. Under 7%. Yeah, things got a bit ahead. Bit away from me, let's say. Let's get it poured. I'll explain how. Okay, it's looking nice. Looking good. It's quite cold. It's just out of the fridge. You know what? It is what it is. That's just the way it is. Alright, just accept it. Okay, so the original gravity was 1070, which is right, but it fermented down to 1012, which is how it ended up at 7.6%. It was supposed to stop like way up a bit, and yeah, it went down. So USO5, the trub as well too, didn't help. So yeah, we shall try a different yeast next time. But you know, it is what it is. Look, got a bit of lacing and everything going on. Look at that. Whoa. When you swirl it, and you can see the bubbles just coming up the side of the glass as well too. Oh, top stuff. Love it, love it. Okay, so far so good. So it's pitch black. It is not a massive head on it. There's a little bit of head around the edges. Whether or not that'll stick around, I'm not sure, but I mean, it's not exactly. You don't see too many Imperial Stouts with a massive Guinness style head on them, let's be honest, so that will do nicely. There's definitely a sweet kind of caramel malt in there. There's also kind of quite like an aroma of licorice, something like that. Maybe a bit of light coffee. Now there was like it says on the bottle, in fact. There's it there. Otter, Vienna, LME, brown malt, caramel malt, brown malt, chocolate malt, and Caramalt went into it. So yeah, you would expect it to be a bit more kind of chocolatey than what it is, but there definitely is this kind of subtle note of like coffee or something like that. Maybe that's just because it's, you know, it's what, near 2.5 months on it. Oh, there's a little bit of bourbon as well too. I'm getting it now. You know what I really want? I really want a bit of oak in there. But, you know what? Let's dive in. Let's dive in. No regrets. No regrets. I say that as if this is a bad beer. It's not a bad beer at all. It is a bit colder than what it should be, but yeah, that is a nice beer. I actually tried a couple of these, not at room temperature, but you know, it wasn't far off it. I put them in a bag, and we were going down to Dublin during the week. I put them in the cool bag, and by the time I got around to drinking them, we were in the back of the car at this time. And yeah, I was drinking them. I was drinking them out of the bottle as well too. Like, I mean, this sounds really weird, this story, right? I'm going down to Dublin, I'm in the back of a car, and I'm drinking an Imperial Stout out of a bottle. Yeah. Long story, but going to Guns N' Roses, okay. Playing down there. I wanted to have a drink in the car on the way, but I didn't want to be wanting to go to the toilet every 5 minutes. So this seemed like a good idea. I bought a couple of these bottles with me, 7.6%. Drink 2 of them, and that will be like 4 or 5 tins of beer or something like that. So, yeah, and when I was drinking them, it was kind of slightly warmer, and it was definitely did not taste like this. When you drink beer out of a bottle compared to a glass, there is a noticeable difference, especially an Imperial Stout. It had that kind of carbonic-y type of taste to it. But yeah, anyway, I'm drinking out of a glass now because I'm refined. What I will say about this is it's got a light body. I don't know if that's because it's finished at 10-12 or what. Or maybe I should have put more kind of oats and stuff in it. There's no oats at all in it. There's just the Vienna, really, and a few other malts. Nothing major. So it's quite a light body, but it makes it super easy to drink. I mean, it's more of a kind of medium body, if we're being honest. The taste, though. The taste is, initially it's kind of like dark fruit type of taste, just a little bit, and then when it goes down, you start getting the kind of bourbon and vanilla more. When this was young, when this was a lot fresher, it was really insanely vanilla on it. I put eight vanilla pods in it when the recipe called for 2, but I put 8 in it. And the vanilla was all at the front end. It was really nice though, which made it really nice, I thought. Now it's kind of more in the back end. It's definitely faded. Maybe it's been fading with time. I've also had them in a box in here. And while it's like 19 degrees now, you know, by this time last night it was like 27 degrees, so it's very much, it's not the best conditions to store them in, so I've actually put the box in the house now. Where it's a bit more cool, or a bit more kind of even temperature, let's say. So yeah, I think those kind of flavours are definitely on the back end more. There's a little bit of chocolate on it as well. That kind of licorice taste seems to be coming through as well, just slightly. It reminds me of like it's almost like a kind of blackcurrant type of taste, which is strange. It's just a kind of subtlety, and I don't know, it must be coming from one of those malts. I mean, there was hardly any hops went into it. Helga for bittering and Challenger, so it's virtually nothing, so it's all really malts, plus the bourbon and the vanilla. It's a nice beer. Definitely is a nice beer. Not quite sessionable at 7.6% though, which is a shame. If it had got the 7, maybe that would be a session impy. Does such a thing exist as a session IPA? I don't know. But yeah, I think if I had one complaint about it, it would be that the mouthfeel is not quite as big, as full as it probably should be. But that's pretty much it. I would like a bit more of the kind of vanilla on it as well. I think I've just left it a bit too long. I mean, I know you're supposed to leave Imperial Stouts for months and years and stuff, but I really wish I had kind of done this maybe a month ago, say, because it was just a vanilla bomb, and now it's a little bit more kind of, it's all kind of blended together, the flavour. The more I drink it, the more it does kind of taste like, it's that kind of blackcurrant note makes it taste a little bit, this is going to sound stupid, a little bit like fruit juice. You know the kind of, you know the red juice you get in the dilutes, summer fruits and all that. Well, maybe something a bit more dark, like the actual blackcurrant one, blackcurrant and apple or something like that. That's what's in my head now. No idea why. Probably shouldn't be. But yeah, drinking that concentrate with a little chocolate finish on it, and that's what that tastes like. So yeah. Very nice. I think I definitely would want to brew that again. We'll maybe up the ante and put 12 vanilla pods in it. Or maybe the Tonka bean. I know that Matt Calaby does a version of this, but he used Tonka beans, which I was actually drinking a couple of weeks ago, wasn't I? So yeah, that might be an idea to try that instead of kind of the normal vanilla pods, and see if that has any difference. So, okay. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much. See you next week. $10.70. We have, it says in the recipe now to put in the can't remember, what do you call them? Begins with V. Can't remember. I keep thinking Vienna. It's not Vienna, is it? Something to do with, fuck's sake. Vanilla. That's what it is. It's fucking vanilla.